What's going on, everybody? What's going on? This your boy Deonte Burden. Welcome to Change Your Life, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. This is my second live feed I did today. I got another YouTube channel, Mr. Short Dollar, where we talk about personal finance, business, entrepreneurship, and investing. But now we're on Changing Lives. This is my YouTube channel where we talk about personal development, family, professional development, parenting, all that fun stuff. More personal subject that we do on this channel. I'm streaming live on both Mr. Short Dollar Night because the subject we're talking about today kind of corresponds to some things you deal with the business and finance world. And what we want to talk about tonight is you all know what's going on in your head. And what I just want to have a discussion tonight in regards to how a lot of times we can make missteps because we think one way and we assume that we're or everybody thinks the same way that we do. Okay. Before we get started, I want to say that we're streaming live on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. We on both platforms and LinkedIn. So right now, between both channels, we're probably on I think about 10 different platforms. I'm not in the studio this week. My birthday was this weekend. Your boy's sick. I went out there and got sick partying like hell, but I had a lot of damn fun, y'all. I'm sick now. I ain't bad as I was Monday. I should be back to normal in a couple days, but I don't know, man. But I tell you, I had a good ass time on my birthday Saturday. But I also want to let you guys know because I told everybody earlier, everybody wished me happy birthday on Saturday. I want to tell you from the bottom of my heart, I really do appreciate it. Really do appreciate it. But we had a good discussion earlier today. We did a live stream from on Mr. Short Dollar in regards to not focusing on what you can't do, more focusing on what you need to do. Okay, just get a good discussion in regards to just recalibrating your focus to make sure don't dwell so much on what things you can't take care of. Most of focus on things you need to do. But right now, I want to have this discussion in regards to you only know what's in your head because there's a lot of times and me personally, we're all human. We think we're right all the time, right? And we forget that everybody else has a damn brain and everybody else has an opinion. And the key thing with that word opinion, a lot of times people forget that there is an opinion is not a fact. An opinion is what you believe. A fact is something that we can't argue. It's infinite. It is that. You cannot argue a fact, right? But when you start getting opinions, people have strong beliefs or strong opinions, and they just figure that is a fact. And that's not the case a lot of times. And I want to have a discussion today because right now, I deal with a lot of people from business and business coaching. A lot of my clients come to me, and a lot of people even follow me on the channel, feel very strongly about certain things, be it, their life, their family, their business, investing, career paths and stuff like that. And I always tell people like, that's cool if that's how you feel. And if that's cool, that's for you. And like, no, you don't think that you should do this, you don't think you should do that. No, not really. I don't, as a father of 4 sons, I don't think everybody need a parent like me. I parent the way I think is best for me. And I never try to get in a conversation with anybody else telling them this is what you need to do with your kids. Now, 2 things I always say even with the parenting aspect. Number one, it's kind of twofold. I always say parents get too much credit for their kids do right, and we get too much damn blame when our kids do wrong. Because I always say the kids have a brain of their own to make decisions, right? We're not talking about babies, but as they grow, especially early adolescence age, 10 and up, they making their own damn decisions, right? The second thing of it is that, sometimes, and it's just a lot of stuff just applicable to the kid thing. If you're doing something, the shit ain't working, you might want to change it. Again, you might be fussing with your kids all the time. You're being passive, putting them at time out. You're beating the hell out of them, however you want to do it. But if it ain't working, you might want to stop or change it up and do something else. And that's kind of how a lot of things are because we get a lot of our opinions from early life. When we grow up, we see our parents and see older mentors and stuff do certain things. We kind of gravitate towards thinking, okay, that's the right way to move with certain things. And then as we grow up and we evolve, we get, like I said, those mentors through a work environment, military, different kind of aspects, college, and they're very influential on us. And then a lot of those points of views and things we learn from them, they kind of shape how we are. And still, there's a lot of times people really get that whole point of underestimating, or I mean not underestimating, overlooking that that's the way that they look at a specific thing. Not necessarily that's the way that is, right? And I just want to have that discussion tonight because I was looking at I just thought about it. Big shout out to the Georgia Bulldogs won national championship this past Monday. Now I was one of the few people, my best friend can vouch for that. I was saying this summer that they could win it all. Now I thought JT Barrett was going to be start the first game of the season till he got first couple games till he got hurt. But I just thought JT Barrett was going to be starting quarterback. But I said early in the season, before the first game for the play Clemson, UGA won the national championship. They have a lot of fanfare with it and stuff like that. But to their credit, they went and won. Now back to what's up, PJ? What's up, PJ? Tuning in. One of the biggest things that I pulled from that is go back to 3-4 weeks ago when UGA played Alabama in the SEC championship here in Atlanta. And I want to say they got their butts handed to them. The score really didn't tell the game, but they lost. And they lost by more than one touchdown. And to have a season full of dominance and to go into a game with so much, I know you hit his sinuses. I'm sorry, everybody. But to go into that game with so much fanfare and to not be successful, a lot of time people question, like, okay, when you get, hit with that strong punch of adversity, how you gonna respond? And then everybody was telling, the team, they need to go in a different direction with quarterback. They, they weren't built. They was always gonna have that ghost of Alabama, and all kind of things were going on. And to the point of it, even with the UGA players and coaches, now I have no idea what the hell going on in their locker room or going on their practices. But, hey, they kept focused. I read Nick Saban's book about 7-8 years ago. It was very, very influential. It was more than probably about 10 years ago. Cause he wrote the book when he was he wrote the book the year he was LSU's head coach. And I don't know if that was 04, 05. I forgot exactly. It was the year they won the national championship at LSU. And it was very information in regards to how he built the championship program at LSU, just going day by day, bit by bit, focusing on the little things, and the summation of all the little things will give you the greater goal. And that's kind of how I pulled a lot from that book into a lot of things the way I run, my businesses. To the point, I was just looking in regards to, you never know, when you hearing these certain things about you can't be Alabama, you guys had all that hype, and now you just get thrashed. And to go back out there, and it's like they forgot about it. Look, we had a bad day at the office, and I think not, that was just a UGA thing. We all had a bad day at the office. We walk into a situation, and we don't give our best performance. And I think what builds the most character, shows the most in our development and growth, is how we respond to adversity, how we respond to things not necessarily going our way. A lot of folks quit, a lot of folks choke, a lot of folks run away. And, to their credit, they fixed the things they did wrong and they won a national championship with that. And I thought that was so cool to see that because, they didn't. As a fan, you didn't see what you normally see during the season, but just to see that, at the end, that was pretty cool. So I was really real hyped up about that. But again, we're talking about, you never know, you only know what's going on in your head. A lot of times, I know you guys talk to a person, they was like, hey, this is just common sense. I don't see how you guys don't understand that. And especially, I go, looking at business meetings, and a client will say, hey, I'm trying to start my business and we want to go this way. I want to have my business going in this direction. I'm going to buy 1, 2, 3 and do this. And I think after that, I'll be able to make X amount of dollars. And the stuff seems just like something out of a damn fairy tale. And in their mind, it's, adding 1 + 1 = 2. And I always try to tell people you have to look at business kind of like, those high school algebra equation, X + 2 parentheses, like old quadratic equation. And it's going to be so many hypotheticals and things that pop up and things that change Some things you can control, some you can't control, some things you never damn thought about happening in business that you really can't account for. And experience will teach you how to, mitigate certain losses or be prepared for certain experiences until you get out is that when we go in a certain situation, be it with your family, be it with your co-workers in business, whatever, always have an open mind to know that everybody don't think like you. Everybody doesn't see the world like you. People are going to function in a different way. Now, we know rules are rules and laws are laws, so we have to follow them. Now, it's just like when you ride, your car down the road. You stand in between the lines, some folks stay straight, some folks kind of wiggle a little bit, some folks ride the damn line the whole time, inside, outside. At the end of the day, they're doing it right. They may be doing it different, but they're doing it right. And when you're doing things a certain way, you have to understand that as long as they're doing it in compliance and doing it, it's not affecting nobody, it's not illegal, it's not, quote unquote wrong. And when I say wrong, I'm talking about it affects somebody else. We know it's morally, legally wrong, right? Just because it's different from the way you want to do it, we have to just respect that. We have to just acknowledge that, right? And I think a lot of times people just don't want to do that, right? We all have had the moments where we misjudge folks and kind of underestimated, what people's certain capabilities are, if they could do it or not. A lot of times you see a person that may be quiet and, because they're not being assertive as possible, in certain things. I always remember just like, in athletics, like, I'm sorry, y'all got to bear with me because my head is a little off from just me being sick. But just, playing high school sports or even just coaching, you see the guy, he's always loud and rah, rah, rah. Then you got the one guy that's quiet. You even see it a lot in boxing. And, the one that's quiet, not saying anything, and he just go and knock the loud guy the hell out. Whereas sometimes the mayor came off, they were intimidated because they weren't saying anything. Same thing we see just like in football, somebody barking all the time, but the guy that's just prepared, he just didn't feel like talking. And the person that's the noisiest or that thing, situation is the loudest isn't necessarily the one that's going to be the best or right. And when we start looking at certain situations, especially like as you looking to progress yourself or progress your business, you want to make sure that you take the kind of focal point or vantage point where you're looking at everything from a perspective of let me look and analyze. The best thing I think people can do is do less talking and more listening. The more observing you do, the better I think you'll be. The more you ask questions instead of telling people certain things, I think the better you'll be. But a lot of times you can sit back and look and listen, and you'll get most of your questions answered before you ask them. The problem come up is you gotta be patient to do that, right? And a lot of times people feel like, they don't have enough time to be waiting for certain things to happen. And that's one of the things I wanted to kind of just, like had a discussion with you guys tonight in regards to that. The time you feel like that you don't have to be having, that you don't have, you definitely have it. And a lot of people many times, I'm sorry guys, trying to get everything here situated. People many times don't want to sit there and say to themselves, look, man, I ain't familiar with this, and because you got to humble yourself when you don't know certain things. And I did want to just have that, just go over that information in regards to that, because I've had a lot of people have certain ideals, and have certain viewpoints that they feel like people should understand and people should see it this way. Not like, no, I think you'll advance yourself personally and professionally. And as a business owner, the more you understand that people don't see the world the way you do. What you see is obvious. Everybody's not going to see that. Now, I do think, I can just share this as far as what I always looked at with my business and my children. Okay. What I always looked at, and share a story with you guys. If you're from Atlanta, you probably know who this person is. There's a commercial real estate developer named H.J. Russell passed a few years ago. We got H.J. Russell and Sons. It's one of the first black real estate developers. I'm wondering if he was the first, but he was one of the first major black real estate developers in Atlanta. I think they probably started like in the 60s or 70s. You know, when Maynard Jackson first became mayor, they were taking advantage of, you know, minorities getting opportunities to be the developers. So yeah, they built a lot of buildings in Atlanta. And Herman Russell, again, he passed a couple of years ago. His kids run the business, but he started the entrepreneurial college at Georgia State. So my senior year, I was in an entrepreneurial program at Georgia State. He came and spoke to us. And I was I got 4 sons. I think at that time I had maybe 2. But in my mind, I knew I was going to have, you know, more than 2. Just me being forward thinking. Okay, but my question to him was, as a man with several children in the business, how do you decide, you know, how you're going to split this up with your kids? Because, you know, normally we look at the oldest going to get the business and you kind of want to do certain things with your kids. He shot some stuff to me, just threw me the hell off. And I've really done that with my children, with my business. What I asked him was how you do it. And he was just like, you know, he kind of made his kids go through a little, well, I think he said he gave it to his buddy of his first to run it. Then he was looking at with his son, I think his second son, runs the company. And what he said to me had me thinking about with my children, you know, they were young, 2 adult right now, was my son that runs it, he can juggle 8 balls at a time. And he said, my oldest son, he's sharp, but he can do maybe 4 balls at a time, right? And that was just something that had me thinking about when you look, when I'm observing my children with certain things. Now, again, we still take consideration they want to damn run it, because I'm going to go to another story. I'm looking at how you handle certain things, how you think. That's one of the biggest things I always push for parents with your children. Give your children, the biggest thing I think a parent can teach their child is how to think and how to make decisions. How to think and how to make decisions. And how do you teach them how to think and make decisions? You constantly ask them why they did something. Constantly ask them. Now, as they get older, you respect how they feel, but you want to make sure if they're developing, they're learning how to process and look at stuff from different angles. Them saying, okay, because I want to, you know, again, they feel how they feel, but you understand if, you know, a kid just picks up, you know, want to buy this right here for $200 and you got the same item for $20 at the same store or a store next door because you want to, ain't pretty, you know, probably not the most wisest thing to do. I don't want to say stupid or dumb, but I always say, you know, kind of teach them, you know, hey, why you do this? So what, you know, where did that come from? And not even just beat it up is right or wrong, but you wanted to get them to, damn, they thinking, now they processing. And but I'm very big on teaching kids how to think and how to make good decisions. Very big on that. That doesn't mean they're gonna grow like that, grow up and, you know, not do nothing dumb or stupid, but the more you can teach your kids and help them with decision making and developing like that, I think the better. And that was one of the biggest things that I try to push with mine. Spin it off, we go into what we think just may be obvious decision, what's in your head. My 2 oldest boys have not been interested in running my business. And that was something I thought was just damn logical. I couldn't process why, you know, we got a pretty successful business. And I can understand why you want to go do something else. Over the years, I've learned to respect that. Still don't damn understand that. But I will say this, I'm not as quick to offer that with the younger boys. And I always tell people, because we hear this whole term of we want to build generational wealth and stuff like the Kennedys and the Rockefellers, like, no, you assuming that your kid gonna want to, you know, deal with investing. You assume that your kid is gonna want to deal with them rental properties. You assuming that your kids is going to deal with them collectibles. And most of the time they don't. You know, most of the time you got family-owned businesses, unless you force the kids to work in there, most of the time a kid will stay in there because, hell, parents probably catching them because they were getting in trouble. Just instead of getting them money, they put them in there. But you don't really see, especially in the modern age, you don't see a lot of kids staying in the family business. You don't. May have worked in when they were younger, but as far as growing up staying there, that's not necessarily something that's real common. But I felt when I was younger, building this up for my boys and stuff. But that was just something that was a real damn reality check for my ass, in regards to them not jumping on board with what we were doing. And even with that now, as they get older, the other ones come around, I'm not quick to just say, man, well, look, you can come on in. They got to show me stuff now because I had to understand that. And that was just part of my own personal maturation, because a lot of times people, it sounds real trendy. We want to build this for our children's children. And if you think that your kid at 7, 8 years old, because they sell some damn buttons, are going to be entrepreneurs, you crazy as hell. As they get older, and they start learning things, they get interest and they have more freedom. As just like us, the older we got, the more freedom we got, and the more we was able to make decisions. You don't know. You really don't. And you don't know some of the intangibles that come along with being a business owner. If your kid is going to develop it or not. Your kid is probably the most studious in school, maybe a very studious person, but you're one that was always kind of out there trying to move and bump around and do this. They may be the most successful in business because they understand hustle. They're not afraid to fail. They're not afraid to take chances. They're not afraid to hear the word no. And you can be, you got a lot of people that are very brilliant, but they want a ton of security. And I always tell you guys, you can't want the security of an employee, but also the freedom of an entrepreneur. You can't have both, So those kind of things, when we start talking about, know what's in your head, everybody have different agendas. And it doesn't make the way I think right and the way you think is wrong. And I do think the more that we can focus on understanding, accepting that our way and the only damn way to function, our way and the only way to think, I think everybody be a whole lot more happier and stress less in life. Okay. But look, guys, like I told y'all, man, your boy a little beat down. I ain't gonna have a long show tonight. I just wanted to kind of talk to you guys about half an hour. With that, I should be back in the saddle. I'll be back in the studio next week. We'll be back with Mr. Short Dollar. And I might have a couple more videos with Change Lives and stuff like that. But I want you guys to make sure you go to both YouTube channels. Change Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. Also, Mr. Short Dollar. Subscribe to both YouTube channels. Got a lot of great information coming for you guys for this year. Make sure you join the email list so I can keep you guys updated on all the information we have coming down the pike. Tax season finna start. You guys know I own my own tax business. My 21st tax season, Majestic Business Services. 21 years in the game. 25 years in financial service. 21 years in business. God, no, that's cool. But yeah, go check us out, www.majesticbiz.com, majesticbiz.com. A lot of your financial entrepreneur questions that you may have should be on Mr. Short Dollar. A lot of your personal professional development questions should be on Changing Lives and stuff like that. But guys, listen, be safe out there. Be safe. Again, thanks to everybody for all the birthday wishes. I had a damn blast. I had a blast this past weekend on my birthday. My homeboys came in town. Well, birthday was Saturday. My homeboy Noel came in town from Houston, for the Falcons Saints game. They're all from New Orleans, and I bleed red and black. I've been a Falcon fan, since Fulton County Stadium, and but I was in there by myself at Crown Sports Bar in Norcross. Shout out my man KT. He owns courtesy of New Orleans, man. It was the main New Orleans Saints tailgate experience at the Crown Sports Bar, and they beat us this year, man. But I had a blast with all those little pretty Creole women. I had a good time, my dear. That's why my ass sick now, but I had a good time, and I enjoyed my birthday weekend. But again, guys, thank y'all for all the love and support. We're gonna keep growing the channel. It's gonna keep putting out great information. Be safe out there. Be safe. Be safe. Make sure if you got any comments, anything got missed out, make sure you hit me up and let me know anything. Take care. Talk to you soon.